Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
And welcome to the D-Pad. I'm Rick.
I'm John.
And this is Cognac, if memory serves. It's been like a week or two. This is Pokémon HeartGold, where I was anticipating not having the episode where this became something that I realized might have been an issue. I was hoping to air before we had a chance to record this to handle something, but I haven't recorded whatever Editor Rick segment is going to go into that episode to kind of clarify some things. But
hello, Editor Rick in the future.
So we had let me go to the summary here. My victory egg from Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. We've talked about it a few times, how I had 4 options, technically. At the end of that game, I had 4 dead Pokemon. Yeah. One of them was Dialga, who can't breed, so that one was out.
Sure.
And that left me with Murkrow, who is pretty common at night in Johto, and also can't evolve until basically post-game.
Yep.
So that's a bad call. Crobat, which means a Zubat egg, which they're everywhere. If anything, I'm assuming I'm going to wind up with one today.
On the off chance you're not sure what we're talking about, in our past competition, Rick won, so his prize was being able to choose one of his dead Pokemon and breed it to bring a new baby into this game.
Yeah, so the final of those 4 was an Empoleon named Pippa, who died during the Elite Four battles. I think it actually died against Cynthia.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the only viable option for an egg. Mm-hmm. Normally we have more deaths, and there's usually a little bit more decision making to happen, but for that one it was kind of the only choice. It's also a good choice as a starter. Yeah. And also we were playing Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, so Gen 9, 8? 8, I think. And so I couldn't just make an egg and then send it backwards to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So I got myself a ROM of Pokemon, I think Platinum, it might be Diamond, I forget which. And in using PK Hex, I reconstructed Pippa to the best of my ability, stats, ability, skill, moves, held item, level, experience, all of that shit. I think I literally got its experience points exact. And so reconstructed them. Got a Ditto. Ditto really didn't make a huge difference. I think I just rolled a random Ditto.
Yeah.
And then I loaded up the game, went to the daycare, had them breed an egg, grabbed the egg. We have an R4 cartridge for the DS, so I can play it on a physical DS.
Yeah.
Transfer the egg over. And so Cognac has these as the moves that it learned upon being hatched.
Yeah.
And so there's 4 categories.
Pretty good moves.
Yeah, there's 4 categories of moves that a Pokemon can learn upon being hatched. First one is just level 1 moves, which is what Pound is. The second one, I forget what it is. I don't think it was anything that mattered here. The 4th category, which doesn't matter here, is egg moves. Mm-hmm. Those are usually moves that come from a different species or line altogether that can be bred in. The 3rd category, though, is TMs and HMs can be bred into an egg. And this was only a thing up until Gen 6.
Yeah.
This is the first time we played a Gen 6 game since Fire Red and Leaf Green, literally a decade ago.
This is Gen 6?
This is Gen 4.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Everything else we've done, because X and Y was Gen 6. We did X and Y. We did Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. We did Sun and Moon. We did Insurgents, which wasn't really part of the thing. We did Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Am I forgetting one? I'm kind of listing them off very quickly.
There's so many.
But so we did all those. And so it's never been a thing that came up. The TMs and HMs literally have not been a thing. And the problem here is that the TMs and HMs can only be transferred down by the father. The problem here is that Pippa was female, and I was not paying attention to the gender of the Empoleon that I created in order to breed down.
So you bred a perfect Pippa clone that, like Jurassic Park, somehow became male.
Or Cognac has a trans dad. I don't know. But
Sure.
So I realized this after the last recording session, because I was like, this is a lot of stuff. That's pretty cool. I guess it was egg moves. Then I looked into it because I was like, I should probably make sure that this is legit and okay. Because my worry was, I was like, I didn't manually program those into the egg, did I?
Right.
And I did not. The egg was generated in an actual game.
Yeah.
And
I just want to point out, I did not care. I was not like, Rick, those moves, they're illegal. Like, this is all Rick. He came up with this himself. I told him he can keep them if he wants. I told him.
I think if this was going to be the only pre-Gen 6 game we did, and then we moved back into more modern stuff, then this would only matter here, and I think it'd be more open to just being like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll just whatever. But we're going to be doing Black and White at some point. We're going to be doing Black and White 2 at some point, and both of those are going to have the exact same rules that this game did.
Sure.
In terms of breeding.
Yeah.
So if that's a thing, and for what it's worth, both Cognac and and Fireball are male. So this.
Right.
If they die, if I win, then this wouldn't even be an issue going forward from there. But
right.
So,
well, what about this? What if we just amend the rules so that gender doesn't matter and you actually can do this?
Because
and it's a better perk for your winning.
There's not a good way for us to enforce that without actively hacking. Literally, the only way that would work for the games going forward, because we're doing this on real hardware. I don't know if we mentioned that. We're doing this on a real DS. Black and White will be on a real DS. Black and White 2 will be on a real DS.
Yep.
The only way we'd be able to make that work is to do what I'm essentially going to do here, which is transfer an actual in-game Pokemon over to the ROM, hack it in PK Hex, and then send it back.
Right.
Which it's just funny to me because it is May 2025, and this is all the result of a 1 in 8 chance on a dice roll from 4 years ago.
Yeah. It is kind of funny, huh?
We started Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I believe, in November 2021. And me getting a female starter for that wound up cascading through time.
Was that
here.
Long ago?
It was.
Fuck, dude, what is happening?
I know. I'm almost done. Depending, Peter might be coming today, and if that's the case, I might be doing my my first Elite Four rematch fight today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys are doing the post game.
Yeah, we're almost done. We're very, very close now. We probably have like 6 episodes max left to go. But so it's just so funny that that this shit has, because normally you kind of want a female starter because then you can breed more starters, because the species, I believe, comes from the female. So you can breed anything that's compatible with an Empoleon that's female, and you get a Piplup with a bunch of egg moves. Normally that's the thing you'd be hoping for. Part of me too was like, maybe I could even suggest to John, like, what if the rules are that you can take 2 of your Pokemon and breed them, and like, because your female will be the species, and then if you want to try to get egg moves. And then I looked it up, and it's like none of the other 3 are compatible with Empoleon anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm really open to however you want to solve this. I'm really not like bent about it. I'm really not like, oh, Rick's cheating, or like, I know you didn't do this on purpose.
No, it definitely was an accident.
Again, I've always been a little more like, okay, it happened. Like, let's roll with it. And you're trying to keep to the rules, which I appreciate, because I mean, watch that. Those moves would probably be the death of me in a fight.
At the end of the day, it feels like, especially because it's something that I can fix. If this was something I couldn't fix, then it'd be like, all right, well, maybe I could overwrite the moves later or something. But like, it feels like the kind of thing that like is less in my control at that point.
Yeah. So Rick's logging into trade.
Yeah. So what I'm going to be doing, I figure we're just going to do this in real time, because why the hell not?
Sure.
I am going to be trading back Cognac. I guess I'll stand over here. I don't actually remember. I think you can just walk into and talk with them directly. But I'm going to trade back Cognac. Oop. Whoop. There we go. Hello. Ringo's contact you. Here we go. There's like 100 different options here. We're going to offer a trade. Will you accept this trade offer? Yes. Okay, let's get into it. This is probably going to be what this whole episode is, but it seemed like an important enough thing to kind of... So the 3DS stick still acts a little weird.
Piggy cheated Rayquaza.
Yeah, this is someone else's save file that I had used. I just downloaded. I essentially just downloaded a ROM that had 100% completion, so that there were no barriers to.
Smart. Okay.
So, oh my god,
I know we make such a big deal of doing everything with like legit hardware. And,
I just didn't have.
And then, and then we're like PK Hex. We're hacking it in, and we're making this impossible mutant, and we're just doing all these.
I mean, this was one where like there was no other way for us. No, to make this work, so.
I think it's admirable that you try as hard as you do to do it right.
I try to do it as legit as I possibly can. There was a part of me that was like, hey, when Insurgence is over, do I get an egg for winning that? I can, if it's something that is not a Delta species, I could also hack that through with PK Hex. And see on that, because we never did a victory egg off of that. Technically, because we're not done with it, but
right.
To my recollection, we never did a victory egg. I think next would have been either Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire or Sun and Moon. If someone wants to verify for me if I'm completely insane. But yeah, nice to see you again, Cores.
Hey, Cores.
Wasn't expecting to be passed back a Cores today.
All right, so that's that'd be nice.
Right.
But actually, it wouldn't. Cores is terrible. But
Cores is bad.
If
a nice Killian's Irish Red though would be.
I know. I got you a red ale last time I went to the store for beer, and it was not Killian's, and it was not good.
Yeah, it was okay.
But I know what my boy likes, and I couldn't find it. I went to 2 different places trying to find it for you.
It's all right. I think we do have like 2 local
Packies.
Register roof. No, we're not going to do pal pad stuff.
So are you giving yourself a dark right now?
Yeah.
Cool. Wow. Great. This seems fair.
All right, so I'm going to leave my...
Unsurprisingly, Darkrai is like the coolest Pokemon to me. But I'm a big emo bitch.
All right, so we're going to leave Rufus in there for right now. I'm going to save again. Whoops. I'm going to save again. I wish that this was easy enough for me to... There's a part of me that's like, oh, it'd be great to switch over to the 3DS footage, which technically we could with the hardware, but also the important thing that's about to happen is going to happen not on the 3DS anyway. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and wait for this to let me power down the 3DS. I also have a screen recording going.
That's a lot.
Come on, 3DS. I believe in you. Why do 3DSs take so long to power down sometimes? And if you close the little clamshell thing before it's done, it'll like hibernate in an almost shut down state.
That's not great.
It's very, very weird. Okay. Micro SD.
What was I doing? I was looking something up and I got distracted. All right. Fuck.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. Okay, so we now have our party here in PK Hex. And you can see Piplup.
Wow.
Cognac, level 13 experience, Hardy, all this stuff. I go over to moves, and sadly, so I did wind up prepping ahead of time what the move. Essentially, it was just the learn set that it had up until this point, which is Pound, Growl,
Buble.
Yep, we got. Oh, there's Bubble up here in green. I think green is natural learn set.
Oh, cool.
And Water Sport.
Nice.
Which is not a great set, but
no,
that's what we got. So pull that back there. And I think that's basically all we have to do here. Everything else should be fine and legit.
Definitely go back?
Yep.
Like,
so if I grab something else, sure.
Yep.
I'm gonna grab this.
What a cool little tool. That's fun.
Yeah, PK Hex is pretty great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and save that, and we'll pop back into our.
And you said you're capturing the screen too?
Yes. Yep.
Nice. All right. Cool. This is kind of fun.
All right. Let me do a thing here. So should be able to plug this back into our card again and get us back in here to trade back poor old Cognac. There were definitely a few instances of using Surf, I think, to get through battles quicker. Bubble obviously is not as strong. I don't think there were any situations, though, where Surf was like the linchpin. Like, oh man, we would have fucking died without that. It was getting through battles quicker, I think. But
no, yeah, I don't think that's a problem at all.
I think it's also important that we did this before Bugsy, before our face-off.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Piplup was getting strong fast, and he would have had some advantages. So I will admit I'm a little relieved that he's going to be not quite so good. But
apparently Surf comes in fairly early in this game, though, so at least the big stab move is going to be coming back soon.
Yeah. And like Ice Beam is good, not great on Piplup. It's fine. I guess it's good, but, you know, he'll be okay. I'm sure he'll get all sorts of cool new moves.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's also a matter of, like, No idea if or when Grass Knot will come around, or if I'd even want it on Cognac as the, one use of that TM. Same thing goes for, Jesus, what's the other one? Ice Beam, which, Ice Beam is probably one that I would want on Cognac. Ice Beam is a great move. There we go. There's Ringo again. There we go. I was like, all right, game, you can do it. Cool. We established contact. Let's trade. Accept the trade offer. Yes. All right. Communicating. Stand by. Oh my god, this poor 3DS has been through the ringer. There we go. There's Cognac for cores. There we go. Back comes...
Here we go.
Cognac. Goodbye, cores. It was nice to see you for a spell. Cores cameo. Hashtag cores cameo.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Everybody go on Blue Sky and use hashtag Chorus Cameo. Just for whatever. It doesn't even matter what it is.
Is Blue Sky good? Do people... Does it feel like Twitter used to feel?
It does.
Okay.
It really does. It feels like the better parts of Twitter without a lot of the parts that were making it actively shitty.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
What about Mastodon?
I haven't used Mastodon. I tried. I appreciate what the point of Mastodon is, but it does make it harder to actually... One of the things that I like about Twitter is that it's all just kind of one big
big thing. Right.
You can discover new folks that way very easily.
Right.
Mastodon feels like if Twitter was Discord.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Which is fine. I'm sure there's folks for whom that is exactly what you're looking
and
for.
What about Threads? Like the worst of all worlds.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
What if Twitter was also Instagram and was also just Facebook again?
Right.
What
if Twitter was also owned by Meta?
Yeah, it's like, that sounds pretty shit, actually. Yeah. And you'd be correct.
What are we doing now?
Didn't mean to do that? Oh, it's fine, whatever. I guess I'm on the PAL pad now. Cool. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and be done with the thing on that side. Our friend should be disappearing any second now. Or not.
This is going well.
You gonna fade it away? No? You're just going to hang out?
And he just zoomed off.
Oh, did he? I
must go now. My planet needs me.
I was looking down. It was the 3DS just started turning off. Okay. So, this
All
was...
right.
It sucks because it was Ralph. What do you want?
I swear to God.
Sup? This is Ralph. How are you? Yesterday, a wild Magikarp slipped away from me in front of my kid. I was feeling down about it until he shared his Pokeballs with me. Haha, that sure made my day. My teeth really hurt.
Good Lord.
You call your mom sometimes, too. I'm sorry, wait. Is that like, hey, you, call your mom, or you call your mom sometimes, too, right?
Well, the lack of a question mark makes me think that he's asserting that it's a more of an imperative, you know?
Yes, yeah.
Ralph, we don't love you, Ralph. Don't call again.
Oh, God. But yeah, okay, so let's take a look at our buddy. Let's just make sure that everything's copacetic. Yeah, no surf there.
Okay. Seems
there we go.
fine.
Pound, growl, bubble, water sport. And it is also my understanding that he will not gain extra experience because they gauge that off of the trainer ID matching.
Okay.
So even though he was traded and traded back, the experience yield should be exactly the same as normal.
Neat.
Yeah.
OT
somewhat of a
Rufus.
clown.
Yep.
Cool. Hardy Nature, November 3rd, 2024. I guess that is accurate, yeah.
Weird.
That was one. That was
around when we started.
Yeah, that was already 6 months ago.
Good Lord.
Jesus. Time.
Chronos.
Man. Well, just doing this out of habit.
Yeah. All right, and then we'll start this episode a half an hour later.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to call the episode here. This will be what the episode is. It's kind of a...
maybe we'll call this like a bonus...
maintenance thing.
episode, yeah.
Yeah. And...
We're giving a more dramatic title, though. Be like, bringing justice back to the Padlocke or something. You know what I mean? Like, make it. You know.
All right, there you go. There's your title. We're gonna come back next time. I'm gonna go take a look at the Slowpoke well. I think we were fully there's like a trainer or two that's like at the furthest end of the route after we came out of the cave too, but it's gonna be basically Slowpoke well and then coming back for the gym, I think.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.